good old quarantine, my old friend. I am officially saying goodbye to you mid-October and I could not be more ecstatic. This one's for you. Let's celebrate quarantine. Hello book reading friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Melanie and today I bring you a special video. Today I'm gonna talk about 5 books that I read during quarantine that kept me thoroughly entertained, that I really enjoyed, the writing was good, plot was incredible, and that I think you should read too. Regardless of whether you are still in quarantine or not, I would highly recommend that you read these books. One of these books I do have to admit, I haven't finished yet, but it's so good, there is no way I am not recommending this to you guys. So the first book that I have for you guys today is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. There is no way I'm making this video and not including this book here. It was such a nice pick-me-up. It is a new adult romance. Red, White, and Royal Blue follows the first son of the United States and the Prince of England. These two have had this rivalry, frenemy, hatred situation going on, and once they make a public display of those negative feelings towards each other, they are asked by both of their PR teams to stage a friendship in order to appease the media. We know it's not that simple. These two get tangled in this mess of faking this friendship and then getting feelings for each other, and it's just such a cute, nice, heartwarming, funny read that, again, if you're looking for political escapism, this is for you. If you're looking for a good romance, this is for you. If you're specifically looking for a male-male romance, then this is definitely for you. I do have a review up for this book, so I will leave it linked down below as well as up here on the cards if you want to go check that out. Another book that I read fairly recently that I definitely enjoyed, and it is all thanks to Christine from Editorial Edge, and it is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I did annotate this book. I don't know if you guys can see. This book was everything I felt Twilight could have been but wasn't. It was such a great read if you're into paranormal romances, if you're into vampires, if you're into a little bit of dark academia. I wasn't planning on tabbing it, but then I just read the first page and I'm like, I need to tab this. There's no way I'm not tabbing this book. And we follow Grace after she's lost her parents and she has no immediate family beside her uncle, who is the headmaster of Catmere Academy. Because he lives there, she goes over to the academy and she enrolls there. She is about to start this new life, and this mysterious academy has some underground stuff going on. There is these weird cliques that Grace doesn't necessarily understand, and in regards to lore, I want to see how that ends up playing out, because again, I've never seen anything like it, and I think all of us that read the book together, we can all agree that it's very interesting. The sequel for this book is coming out at the end of September, so I am definitely pre-ordering it. Definitely pick it up. It's not that expensive either. It's like a hefty book. It's a hardcover as well, and I bought it for like $7 on Amazon, so get on it. Next up, I have Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, which I do have a review up for that book. I will leave it linked down below in case you guys want to check it out. When I initially picked up this book, it was one, because I am a huge thriller mystery fan. This book is a YA thriller, but also because it is very hyped up here on Booktube, and despite that, I feel like still a lot of people haven't read it. And this book follows Stevie Bell, who is a huge true crime mystery fan. She is in love with Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie, and that is what she wants to pursue professionally. She wants to become a detective eventually. She receives an invitation to Ellingham Academy, which is this very prestigious school who only invites the best of the best at their respective fields. And she specifically wants to go to this school because there is a big mystery surrounding it, where 80 years in the past, the wife and daughter of its founder were kidnapped and found dead, and the case was never solved. And so Stevie takes it upon herself to go to this school and solve this crime, which nobody has been able to crack. And again, 80 years. I was thoroughly immersed in the story. It was creepy at times, I do have to admit. You guys need to pick up this book. Again, you need to check out my book review. It is a non-spoiler. Definitely a book that will keep you entertained if you're more into thrillers and mysteries, but don't necessarily want to go into adult thrillers. This next book I have not finished yet, but it is so unbelievably good. Be on the lookout for my review because I am definitely doing one, but I just need to talk about it and you guys need to read it. It is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. As you can see, I am tabbing this book because there is no other way, and I have tabbed it so much. I think out of all the books that I have read and tabbed, tabbed. This is probably the one that has the most tabs, and I am only halfway through this book. Scythe is part of a trilogy called The Arc of a Scythe, and it is a dystopian trilogy. I have not read a dystopian in such a long time. This book reminded me of why dystopians are so great and why they work so much. This book is set in a world where humanity as a whole has conquered death, and they have also conquered a lot of the issues that we are currently dealing with. This is very much set in an ideal, perfect world, and the only way that people can die in this world is if a scythe gleans them. This gleaning process is very much randomized. Every year they take a certain amount of teenagers and train them to become scythes, and the book starts off with Citra and Rowan, who are invited to go into training to be scythes, and that is where the entire conflict of the book kicks off. I feel the less you know, the better it will be once you go into this particular novel. The writing in this book has just been so great. I am constantly in awe of Neil Shusterman's writing. It is absolutely crazy how much of present issues he has been able to include in this book and address them in a way that not only does it make sense, but it sits very heavy as well, and it makes you understand how present and how much we as humanity need to deal with these issues in order to get to a better place. And it also makes you question whether perhaps all of these things will ever be abolished, or whether they will continue even if we get better, but just in different forms. I cannot wait to do a book review on this, so be on the lookout. I feel like I'm raving about this book too much, but definitely pick it up if you haven't. I will be ordering the next 2 books today, because if I finish this book today, I don't know what I will do until I get my hands on those other 2. And the last book that I have for you guys is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This is an adult romance, and it was such a fun read. I want to get more into Christina Lauren's books because I have heard incredible things. Whenever I pitch this book, I always say it's like the perfect blend between Just Go With It and The Proposal. If those two had a baby and it would be born into a literary piece, it would definitely be The Unhoneymooners. This book is about Olive, who believes she suffers from chronic bad luck, which is a contrast to her twin sister Amy, who constantly gets everything done perfectly. She believes that her sister is constantly lucky because she wins all the raffles, all the giveaways, all the promos. And on the day of Amy's wedding, when an unlikely disaster happens, Amy and her new husband are not able to attend their honeymoon, so they tell Olive and the groom's husband named Ethan take the tickets to go to their honeymoon and to just have a nice time. The thing is, Olive and Ethan absolutely hate each other. I am a sucker for enemies to lovers, and this is exactly what that book is, and it is such a funny, just hilarious read. I found myself laughing out loud so many times throughout quarantine because everything has been so serious and so uncertain. I found that was exactly what I needed. So if you want a more lighthearted, just funny read that is not tragic in the slightest or won't stress you out, this is definitely the book for you in case you just want to release all that tension. And those are all the books that I have for you guys today, books that I have read during quarantine and that I definitely think you guys should too, regardless of the fact of whether you are still in quarantine or just getting out of it. These are definitely books that kept me entertained. Some of them kind of stressed me out, but it was a nice type of stress. Some of them made me laugh, some of them were heartwarming. So I tried to really craft a list within what I read during quarantine that would appeal to different aspects depending on what you want to read. So there's a little bit of everything here. Let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of these books, or if you're looking to pick up any of these books that I talked about today. Subscribe if you haven't already, join the fam, give this video a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Bookstagram, Book Twitter, and on Goodreads. I will leave all those links down below in case you guys want a more daily look into my reading life. I love y'all, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.